Hi everyone, good afternoon. The topic for today is a simple formula for success. I do hold a master's degree in mathematics from IIT Bombay. So I thought I would add a little bit of maths just on the last slide. So a few years ago, I wrote a book called Happiness Express. And one of the things I talked about in that book was this sentence: action without strategy is the noise before failure. Many times we jump into doing stuff before really thinking about what we are doing and why we are doing. I do personal coaching, and many times, multiple times, my clients who are in the age group of 40 to 50, who have achieved everything that they have wanted, at the age of 45 figure out, oh my God, this is not what I wanted. And then they do something else completely. Yeah, we've all heard of these people who started off as some software engineers or as promoters of companies and things like that, and then a few years later start organic farms on the outskirts of Bangalore, right? Why not start that farm right away? If that's really what you want to do. So today I'm going to talk about what are the things you should do before you start doing anything. Okay? And the first thing is figuring out what your dream really is. So what's your dream? What do you want? What do you really want? People say, I want to be fit. Okay, brilliant. You want to be fit? Fantastic. What do you mean by fit? When can you say that you are fit? What parameters do you have to measure that, all right, now I can say I'm fit, right? How will you know that your dream is realized? I want to be financially free. Okay, cool. How do you know? How will you know you are now financially free? Right? I want a fantastic relationship. What are the parameters? How can you know that you have got there? See, this is a very big thing. It's very difficult to get what you want when you don't know what you want. Right? So first of all, figuring out what exactly is it that you want. I've been doing a bit of vibe coding lately, and I have found out that AI is extremely smart and super dumb at the same time. Unless you tell that damn thing exactly what you want, you keep going on in circles, right? And I think the universe works in exactly the same way. Unless you are very clear, okay, this is what I want, how are you going to get it? Right? So the first thing is clarify your dream. What do you want? How will you know you have got it? Okay? Step one. Now, why do you want this to happen? How would your life change if this happened? I want to learn how to play really good guitar. All right? I will know that I can play really good guitar if I can play, say, Bistro Fada. Okay? It's a fairly complicated piece. All right? But why do you want this? What exactly will happen if you learn how to play the guitar brilliantly? How will your life change? Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you are not really clear about how this is going to make a difference to you, then what's the point of doing it? I want to be fit. I will know I am fit when I can do 20 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, and run half a marathon. Okay, cool. How will your life change because of that? Will it really make a difference? Are you getting this? So this is a very interesting question to ask yourself. Once you have established what you want, why do you want it? And in fact, if you look back in your life and see all the places where you succeeded, you will find that the reason behind achieving your success was very strong. And if you look at all the times you screwed up, every time you failed, you will see that the reason was not so strong over there. Think about it. What will happen if you realize that dream? How will your life change? How important is this change for you? Rate it from 1 to 10. Okay, now you can do those 20 push-ups. Okay. So, how important is that? And I give you a little hint over here. If it is not between 8 and 10, it's not going to happen. If that change that you want to bring into your life is not really, really, really important, you won't do it. Since the TEDx is all about stories, I'll tell you a story to establish, to make this clear. Around 15 years ago, I was writing my first book. It was called Ready, Study, Go. Because I am from IIT and I teach a lot of young people meditation, the most frequently asked question was, how did you get into IIT? What were your study strategies? And then how did you get out of IIT? As I'm sure most of you who are in IIM are figuring out. Getting in is the easy part, right? And I got really tired of answering that question, so I said, to hell with it, I'm going to write a blog. And then it got out of hand, it became a book. Now, around the same time, my mother had a paralysis attack. And we had no idea whether she would see tomorrow. We had no idea. And I desperately wanted her to see her son as an author. And I'm a person who will dot every single I and cross every single T and make sure that every single punctuation mark is perfect before I can release my baby into the world, right? I have this, whatever, Virgo tendency, if you want to call it that. And I'm sure if mom's health was not compromised, I would have taken at least 6 years or 7 years over that book. But because I needed to get that book in mom's hand, because it was so important for me that she sees her son as an author, I worked my ass off to get that thing done. Every time I thought, oh my God, I've had enough today. I want to rest. I want to take a break. The thought would come, but mom cannot wait for you. You need to get this done. So do you see that how important that change, how important the book was for me? Because I wanted that mom sees me as an author, as the last thing she does on this planet. And I did it. My publisher published it. And when I gave it to mom, there was a flicker of recognition on her face and she smiled. And somewhere I know she understood. But if this urgency was not there, I don't know how long I would have taken. Do you see what I'm saying? It is, how important is this change for you? Whatever it is that you are doing, whatever project that you are involved in, how important is it for you that it works? Okay? Now shift gears. What if things don't change? What if your life continues the way it's continuing? Would this be okay for you? You didn't learn how to play the guitar. You never become that super fit with, all those bulging biceps all over the place. Would that be okay? I have a friend, he lives in London now. He's an electrical engineer. He's one of those rare people who did electrical engineering and actually became an electrical engineer. Right? And he has a brilliant job. He's getting like 4,000 or 5,000 pounds a month, very comfortable, settled, goes to the gym, works out, in the pink of his health. And yet, when I ask him, what do you want? He says, yaar, ye 4,000 pound nahi chalega. 4,000 pounds doesn't cut it. I want like 20, 30, 50,000 pounds. So I never have to think about money. And he knows that if he continues doing his job the way he's going right now, even with promotions, this is not going to happen for the next 20, 25 years. And yet he doesn't quit his job because he's too comfortable. Right? It doesn't hurt. If your life continues the way it is continuing right now, will it pain you? If it will not pain you, again you will not do it. There's a story of this guy who goes into the countryside, just for a vacation. And in the evening he hears a dog howling, crying. You know how the dogs cry, ooh, like that. And first day, he ignores it. Second day, again, none of my business. The third day, at the same time, the same noise of that dog howling in pain makes him very intrigued. So he goes out for a walk and follows the sound until he comes to this little cottage, and he knocks on the door, and an old woman opens the door and he says, excuse me, but I hear the sound of a dog in pain coming from here. What's going on? He says, come. She says, come, I'll show you. And she takes him inside the kitchen, and there is this little basket in which a huge dog is lying down. So this basket was his when he was a small pup. And now he's big, and the basket is still a little too small for him, and he insists on sitting in this basket. And there is a nail that pokes him, which pains him. And so he keeps howling until he kind of settles down for the night. And the man says, but if it pains him so much, why doesn't he sleep somewhere else? You've got a big house. And she smiles and says, it doesn't pain him enough. What are you doing in your life right now? What are you allowing in your life right now, which is painful but not painful enough to let go of? Just the other day I was walking, taking my evening walk, and one lady came up to me and said, I'm so attached to this guy, and he's giving me so much pain. How do I come out of attachment? I said the same thing. I said, that guy is not paining you enough. He is not giving you enough grief. Because when the pain becomes so much, you'll say, get out, yaar. Do you get this? How much pain is there if your life continues the way it is continuing? Because if the pain is not there, I'm sorry, but it's going to continue. And that change you want, it's not going to happen. Yes? And so, the formula is very simple. If you want the success, it is how much it matters multiplied by how much it pains. Right? You need to think of the reasons to make it matter, and you need to really feel that pain and raise those two numbers to 9, 9.5, because even if it is at 8 is a 64% chance of success. It's only when you hit a 9, 9.5, 10 that you know that this is really, really going to happen. Okay? All the best.